Hi, I'm Zuri Berry of the Boston Globe and Boston.com, and with me is Boston Globe High School Sports Editor Bob Holmes, and you're watching the Huddle, our high school football show. We now have Thanksgiving upon us. This is our Thanksgiving preview edition, Bob. We're going to do something where we're just going to look at every single game that has playoff implications as well as some others and just go right down the list of what we think you should be watching on Thanksgiving. The first up, Division I, Central Catholic versus Andover. A win by either team, shot at the playoffs. Bob, your thoughts?
Andover wants to put as many points on the board as they can. Central Catholic wants to slow it down. We'll see who wins.
Top flight offense in Andover right there. Moving on, St. John's Prep versus Zavarian. Again, winner gets into the playoffs, Division I.
Yeah, hard to imagine Zavarian with a 6-game losing streak in the middle of the season going to the Super Bowl, but it's possible with a win.
You got a pick there?
I love St. John's Prep.
All right. Natick versus Framingham. Natick beat Walpole a couple weeks ago. If Natick wins, they automatically are in the playoffs.
Yeah, not a given. The game is at Bowditch Field in Framingham. It'll be an intense crowd. Natick has a lot of work ahead.
I'm sure Natick thinks it's a given.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
Walpole versus Weymouth. Walpole needs to win, and they need Natick to lose to Framingham to get into the playoffs. Obviously, Weymouth is already in. They're in on Division I.
And if it doesn't happen, Walpole's going to go 10-1 and not go anywhere.
All right, moving right on. Holliston Westwood for the Tri-Valley Large League playoff spot. If Holliston beats Westwood, they're in. Westwood beats Holliston, they're in. It's like that all day, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it's the Berluti brothers against Max Ackley, the TVL MVP. It should be a great game.
All right, Newburyport versus Amesbury. We're getting right now down into the nitty-gritty. Division 3A, what do you think of these two?
Did you know that those two teams combined for 99 points in a Thanksgiving Day game a few years ago?
I did not know that, but that sounds like fireworks.
It was 62 years ago, but still.
All right then, moving on. North Reading versus Linfield.
Can Linfield slow Carl Lepani down? That's the story there.
Wow, very cool. Blue Hills, Bristol Plymouth.
Vincent Burton and everything he's done at Blue Hills, but it really comes down to this one game, and if they don't win, Bristol Plymouth goes.
All right, and now what is possibly the most interesting game of the day, Holbrook Avon versus West Bridgewater. Holbrook Avon, if they win, they create a three-way tie in the Mayflower Small. What are you thinking?
If that one ends and Holbrook wins, don't leave, because right after it on the same field, they're going to flip a coin to see who goes to the playoffs.
All right, that should be awesome. And as far as our historical matchups go, what are you thinking? Medford Malden?
Yeah, 125th version of that game. It should be a great game. It means so much in the communities. I know the football teams are struggling, but still a great community game.
All right, and Wellesley Needham. Always interesting.
Always interesting, and Wellesley is the team that made things interesting for Natick by beating them a couple weeks ago.
All right. Now, one of the games that we talked about just very briefly was Holliston Westwood. That actually is going to be very interesting because of the Berluti brothers, as you mentioned. We actually take a look at Alex and Bo, who have led that team this year. Our friends at Element Productions and Metro West Subaru have the story. Take a look.
Thanks very much, Zuri, and welcome back to Metro West Subaru High School Sports Weekly. I'm Jami DePerel. This week, the focus is on the Westwood High School dynamic duo, otherwise known as the Berluti brothers. They are thriving on the field for the Wolverines.
It's real fun playing with my brother. I mean, we've grown up together. We've done a lot of things together. We're 15 months apart, so having him on the field is great. And he makes plays, so it makes my job easier because I just try to get him the ball. I look for him, and when he catches it, he does what he needs to do.
Just throwing the ball in the backyard. There's never a time where I can't be working on something, he can't be working on something, and usually, we live in the same household, so we can always be throwing, catching passes, talking about something, whether it's offensively, defensively, and just kind of just developing a trust.
I'm very comfortable with him. I know where he's going to be on the field. He knows what to expect in certain situations, and he's ready for the ball, and he's always ready to make the big play when we need him to.
It's obviously a team effort. The line is to give him a lot of time, and he's throwing good balls, so it's just my job to catch it, and I'm just trying to do that to the best of my ability.
We're effective on the edge, rushing the ball and rolling out, and our defense fights, and we've had no shutouts, but we've come pretty close, and everyone keeps battling and understands that every point matters and that we need to do our best to score at all times and prevent points at all times.
He's a pretty competitive kid, and he's definitely just as hard on me as I am on him. He's always competing with me, trying to do better than me, and same, I'm always trying to do better than him, so it's always there.
That's going to wrap it up for this week. Be sure to check out MetroWestSubaru.com and also check out their Facebook page. Zuri, back to you.
Thanks. That was great. Obviously, we're looking forward to seeing them have a great game. Any other games on Thanksgiving, though, that you think that everybody should be looking at as usual?
Have to include Latin English, the oldest game a continuous game played on Thanksgiving. English could win this year, something different.
Yeah, they've lost 29 of their last 30 meetings, so it would be very interesting. They do seem like they have a much better squad this year. One of the games I'm looking at, just very briefly, Watertown and Belmont. Belmont leads the all-time series 43-42-5. Watertown looks like the stronger team this year. They could tie up the series, which is always a big thing as far as rivalries go. On Thanksgiving Day, you could check us out on Boston.com. We'll have live updates from all the games. You can also see Bob Holmes' 50th anniversary story on the team that first played on Thanksgiving here in Massachusetts, and look at all of our games to watch. I'm Zuri. He's Bob. Hope you enjoy it. Enjoy the turkey as well.